Good morning, fifth grade online learners. Welcome to January 28th, 2021. Fifth grade science. Me, Mr. Monzo. We are still talking about something very simple. Simple machines. I got a couple laughs out of that. Anyway, simple machines do a lot of hard work. We talked about them pushing this car before. We talked about the 6 types of simple machines, and this is a quick review for our quiz for tomorrow. In the book, we also talked about this lever and how it makes work easier. And then there are different types of levers: first class, second class, and third class. We did get a study guide today that is on Google Classroom, and this is what it looks like under lesson plan and study guide. I would make sure you're familiar with this before the quiz tomorrow. Here is what it talks about. Simple machines. There are tools that make work easier and have few or no moving parts. Newton meter, the standard unit for measuring work. Effort force. Force used to do work using a machine. Work, when a force moves an object over a distance. So scientifically speaking, if something doesn't move, work has not been done. Joule, Joule, another name for a Newton meter. Load force, force that doing work overcomes. Compound machines, tools that are made up of more than one simple machine. Key concepts. A screw is an inclined plane wrapped around a cylinder or cone. Work is measured in units of force times distance. Inclined planes decrease the amount of force required to raise an object. A wedge is a simple machine that has 2 inclined planes. All right, so that is our study guide. And in school, we had a study guide B, which you guys don't really need at home. It just reinforces the first study guide. And it has all the same terminology that I just went over. When work is done when a force moves an object over a distance. So we've already talked about that. A force used to do work using a machine is called the effort force. A simple machine that has a rigid bar that pivots around a point, and we would say that is a wedge. The simple machine that has an axle attached to the center of the wheel, and we would say that is, I'm just looking at the pictures, a wheel and an axle. Okay, so all it does is takes a picture of the simple machines and it identifies them. That's all we did in class. It's all on your regular study guide, just a little bit more reinforcement. So you don't necessarily need this, but I would study that original study guide because the terminology on there, it sounds simple enough. However, if you're not familiar with what a joule is, or a load force, or an effort force, you may have trouble on the quiz tomorrow. And I try to make the choices somewhat obvious. There might be one distractor in there that you might kind of wonder, is this right? But the other 2, they're going to make sense in some other lesson and some other chapter. If you plug them into the sentence, they just don't make sense in that sentence. So don't just look at the word and say gravity. There's no reason I don't believe to use gravity tomorrow on the quiz. That's a vocabulary word from another lesson. In the book, we did talk about a wheel and an axle, which could be a steering wheel in a car. We also talked about pulleys and how you can raise or lower a flag with a pulley. And look at the one with the box. It actually has 4 pulleys. And it's hard to believe, but each pulley makes that job, or makes the job of lifting that box easier because the weight is distributed amongst the 4 pulleys. So if you add pulleys, it's going to be a lot easier than if you just had 1 pulley or no pulley at all. Very interesting concept. The next page, we talked about inclined planes, and imagine trying to get that box into that truck if you didn't have a ramp. That ramp makes it so much easier. I don't think that man could get that box up into that truck without a ramp, and he also has the simple machines of wheel and axles on the bottom of that box. So with simple machines, he's probably moving a 400 or 500 pound box potentially by himself. There's no way he'd get that into that truck without the use of simple machines. And it also makes that truck going up a hill a lot easier to get up that hill than if it was, if that ramp was a lot more steep. Often when we're building roads, we try to, level them out as much as we can. But you're not going to get that truck on top of a mountain without an inclined plane. Pennsylvania Turnpike has a lot of challenges like that, where you're trying to get a truck or something to another location. They've made the PA Turnpike a lot better over the years. They've redone some roads. But before that, we had Route 30 as our main form of transportation across Pennsylvania, and there were lots of hills. So the PA Turnpike really leveled out their inclined planes and made travel a lot easier. It's amazing to think you could split wood in half with a axe, but that is a wedge, guys. And you can split wood in half and then it burns a lot better. On the bottom we have wedges and screws. We have the screw that you could jack up a car that weighs 2,000 pounds to change the tire just by using a lever to spin the jack and a screw that is inside the jack that gently raises that car in the air. Imagine one person lifting 2,000 pounds. It's possible with a simple machine. And the last page we talked about compound machines. And this is when we take a few simple machines and put them together, like scissors, a bicycle, and even piano strings. A pair of scissors combines two simple machines, wedges and levers. A bicycle combines many simple machines, including levers and wheels and axles. A piano uses several different types of levers to make music. So that is it, guys, at home. That's our fairly quick review for the quiz. Make sure you do your journal entry. We have some people coming in from music class. You might see them in the background.
Music is band.
Band, I'm sorry. They're band. There's a difference. Make sure you study your study guide. Make sure you do your journal entry and take the quiz tomorrow. So it's like a normal week. If for some reason your career project isn't done, please try to get that done for us. We really enjoyed that last week. And remember, simple machines are simple, but they make difficult work a lot easier. And sometimes it's just stuff you have laying around the house that can become a simple machine. If you're trying to use a wrench or something like that, my friend used to always put a pipe on the end of the wrench, and it made the lever of the wrench longer, and it made it easier to get bolts off, like if you're taking the tire off of a car. The longer the lever, the easier it is. So keep that in mind. Good luck on your quiz, and please use your study guide. That is your ticket to success. All right, 5th grade, we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.